welcome to FIFA Save My Life. Thank you very much for joining me today on this wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. And that means it's Tactics Tuesday. Yes, it is. I actually have tactics for you this week. Now, I've been floating around with different tactics for the last 2 weeks, and none of it's really done me much good. Some of it's done me all right, but overall, not felt fulfilled, not felt that satisfaction that you should be feeling. What have I got for you? Well, I've got new tactics. I've got a couple of hints and tips of how to win some more games in either Foot Champs, Rivals, whichever floats your boat, and yeah, just some general FIFA-ness. So there you go, guys. Before I do so, make sure you hit a like and a subscribe, please, my friends. It means a lot to me. I know a lot of you have, and it is brilliant of you. I need more. I need more. Thank you very much, though, because I give 50% of my profits to charity. I give them to Mind, the charity for mental health and well-being. Yes, I do. Yeah, during lockdown 2.0, it is really important to have good mental health because we're spending a lot of time with our loved ones. 24/7. So yeah, we need good mental health, and these are the guys who can help. They are a registered charity, and I'd like to give 50% of my profits to them. So for nothing, you watch this video. For nothing, you get to give money for charity, and just come back every now and again and watch video. It's all good stuff. So there you go, guys. Right, we're going to get into tactic. Before I do so, let me give you the caveat. I'm not the greatest FIFA player ever. I'm not that guy. I am more than adequate. I'm above average, to say the least. But I've only been really doing it a couple of years. I've improved no end. I could not string a pass together. I played with mates basically to start with for the many years that I had it. Bought it for a copy when it came out in September, and then basically just used it for when guys came around for a beer. I played it properly for the whole of last season and this season, and a little bit of the season before when I started, and then created FIFA Save My Life. If you wonder why it's called FIFA Save My Life, please have a look on the channel. You will see a video telling you why. It's an interesting story. But yeah, again, it helps me no end, and I really enjoy it. So I've got better. I set myself goals, and yeah, I've got a lot better at it, and I like to pass on these little findings that I get that make my game better. So if you are an elite player or something like that, then this probably isn't for you. But if you are a decidedly average player like me, and you're trying to get better, or if you're lower and you're struggling, then these tactics could help you, and these hints and tips could certainly help you improve your game somewhat, and help you move up, because it's all about sharing. Right, let's get on with the tactic first. The tactic is, are you ready? 3-5-2. Now, yes, I've done this before. I've done it right at the very beginning because we had problems with the old left and right back going Geronimo and going up the pitch and disappearing off. So we had just two in the back. That was the problem. It's been patched, so that's been fixed to a certain degree. But I had a horrendous weekend league. I was 5-0. I was brilliant. I was 5 up at the very beginning of weekend league, and then I just went into a massive slump and couldn't win a game. So I literally went back to basics and went back to my original, what I started FIFA with in this FIFA 21. And went back to 3-5-2 and had a look at some videos online. And I noticed a lot of pros over the weekend, a lot of really good teams that I was playing 3-5-2. So I looked it up, and it seems to be the meta formation. So I was kind of ahead of the curve, as the old Joker says. And yeah, I've gone back to it, and it's brilliant. I didn't lose a single game in weekend league up to then, and then I haven't lost in rivals, and I haven't lost in any friendlies since. I've drawn a few but not lost any. So there you go, guys. It is brilliant. So I'm going to go through the tactics with you. You go into this formation, and if you didn't know, you press L2, and that brings up all your formations. Now, when you're in game, all you do is on the D-pad press either left or right, and left once or twice, depending on where you set it. Now, it says defensive. That doesn't mean anything. That's just what FIFA's calling it. What you actually do with it is completely up to you. So I have it as a defensive tactic. You can see there I have a couple of other tactics. 4-1-2-1-2. I love 4-1-2-2. Second variation, I use that as my ultra attacking defensive, sort of attacking formation. 2-0 down, need to get back into the game. That's my last roll of the dice, if you like. I haven't needed it since I've had this formation, but it's there if I need it. It's like a safety blanket. It's a little blankie. It's a little blankie for me. So yeah, basically I know it's still there and it's my favourite formation of all time. But 3-5-2 haven't had to deviate from at all. Let's get into it. So you go into that. This is how you set up. This is how you do it. Right, so we got balanced. Guys, I'm the king of balanced at the moment. Balanced works amazingly. You don't have to have it. Funny enough, having a word with my son in the old kitchen yesterday, and he said, funny enough, he forgot to change any of his formation tactics, and he was on balanced, and he said it was miles better. And again, I got to admit, I noticed over the last week, if you change things to balanced, and you will see a bit of a sort of a chain with this, a bit of a theme, if you will. You will see that balance seems to be the way forward. So yeah, balanced on defensive style. Let the AI decide what it does. We've got 5 width, guys. We have 5 width, nice balanced, again midway through the thing. Depth, you've got 4. You don't want any less because obviously they camp in your area and you are literally inviting shots. You don't want much more because that will just, again, you're going really offensive then, and then basically you are risking lots and lots of issues in the old fact that they can counter-attack. Your counter-attack is quite OP this FIFA. You could go to 5 if you want and be ultra balanced. I like 4, just makes me feel better, I don't know. We've got balanced as our offensive. Again, I like long ball. I've been playing a lot of formations with long ball, and if I go really offensive, I go long ball because you just don't want any secondary sort of thinking on the attackers. But balanced, if you're starting the game, I would say definitely balanced is the way to go. We've got width, guys. We've got great width there. Nice width. Beautiful width. We've got width of 6 because you do have that left midfield and right midfield, as you'll see in a minute. But you want to be able to utilise them, and you want them to come back as well. So you don't want them pushed out of the game. You have 5 players in the box. You'll see in a minute, basically, we are working on 3 players being your main attackers and your main source of goals. So you want all 3 of those in the box. Absolutely. If the wingers get into the box as well, that is a Brucey bonus. But if they don't, you want those 3. So getting 5 width is 5 players in the box is absolutely necessary. Now corners is completely up to you, and free kicks is up to you. Some people have it on 1 because they don't want to be counter attacked. I find 2 because otherwise you can header the ball this year, and so it's a bit of a waste of time if you do get corners. I have scored quite a few from headers from corners, so yeah, I want at least the chance of doing that. So 2 is more than enough. Now this is how I set up. If you don't know how you can swap players around, if your player's now out of formation, because obviously you could see originally my formation was not 3-5-2, now it has changed to 3-5-2, you just press triangle and swap your players around. Simple as that. So nice and easy. You can see Human Song might swap to Timo Werner's place. Timo Werner now swaps back again. So depending on feet, which foot they are, whether you want them on the left, whether you want them cutting in, it's completely up to you. You are in charge of that. But you can see how my team is now laid out, and you can see how defensive it really is. Actually, people kind of go 3. Ooh, that's risky. That's very attacking. It's not actually. You've got 3 really holding defenders, if you like. And the fact you've got Nelson, Semedo, Gomez and Walker. None of those are going up, where if you have 2 in the middle and then 2 on either side, you know the 2 either side do go up, whether you want them to or not, or whether you ask them to or not, they go up. They do go up to at least the halfway line, so you've got 2 then literally holding defenders in there. Now you have 3, so you actually got 1 more defender than normal, which is really good. It gives you an extra defender, and if you've got the right defender, and this is the crux, this is the hint of the year, you have to have 3 good defenders in there, guys. You know, you got Gomez. I've got obviously 85 red pick Gomez, which I was lucky enough to get, but you could buy the normal Gomez who's 100 grand. So he is absolutely outstanding this year. Love Gomez. There's lots of other foreign versions of Gomez as well. You've got your Jimenez. You've got a nice Jimenez rule breakers, etc. You've got lots of them. You've got Nelson Semedo and Kyle Walker. Now, I would definitely recommend these two. I love them. Kyle Walker, yeah, he's under grand again. So there's 200 grand's worth of defender in there, really. Nelson Semedo's £2.50 in a bag of crisps. He's nothing now. He's like 15 grand, I think. So you've got those three in defence. They are all speedsters, guys. They are all fast. They are all strong. They are all good at defence. You have to have three like that in your defence if you're going to make this work. So that is the first hint. Obviously, I then have in front, you can see Fabinho and Ndidi, both big, strong, tall, holding midfielders. Now again, Kante would do just as well, and he's small, but you need people who are strong, who are going to try blocking that ball before they get to the three, and join in and be defensive minded as well. So Ndidi's got like medium high. That's what you need in them. Same with Fabinho. You want really medium high. These guys are not going forward. They're not joining your attack. They are basically part of your 5-man defense. So you've got a 5-man defense there. You got Robertson out on the left. I put him out on the left because he could put him in defence if you really want to, but like Walker or Semedo out there, it's up to you. But I put him out there because he's got 95 stamina, which is great. He'll go all game, but also the fact is he's also got 90 crossing, so that's really good. And all you're looking for him to do is go up and down, up and down. Same with Lucas Moura, up and down, up and down. They will go up and down, and that's all you're looking for. Join in the defense, join in the attack, help on those wings, and basically they will just go up and down. You've got Anderson Talisca, who's obviously becoming your third striker, and that link between Fabinho and Ndidi, and then you have Humansson and Werner upstairs up front to bang in the goals, and that is basically the way it is set out, my friends. So that is what it's set out. So the instructions, let's start with the back, and we're going balanced. Yes, we are. So we got the goalkeeper, Lloris. He is balanced. Before I always had him rushing out and all that. I haven't noticed it makes any difference this FIFA, I'll be honest. I don't think they do rush out anymore. I think the patch has just cocked that up. I think the defenders have been, the goalkeepers have been OP'd, but they've really been slowed down on the thing. If you want them to come out, I just press triangle, guys, or whatever your I don't know what it is on the Xbox, but your top button, and just basically pull the goalkeeper out on his own and manually do it. You've got the three defenders, all are balanced. Don't touch them. They are as they are. Now again, pretty much the same for your holding midfielders, apart from you have stay back and cover centre, which makes sense because obviously you don't want to go out to the wing, because obviously you've got Robertson and you've got Moura out there, so you don't want them getting in the way of that. So they are part of your 5-man defence, so you have stay back while attacking and cover centre on them. This guy you have just fully balanced, so Anderson Talisca is fully balanced, my friends. So he is that link between him and him, so that's all you want. And again, you're banging some goals from the edge of the area and that, but you just want him to be the link between the two sets of players. You almost want to see him as your 5 at the back, and then your 3 at the front, and then the 2 down the sides are extra. They are extra either way. 2 down the sides, I have come back while on defence, and the rest is balanced, people. So come back on defence, rest is balanced. That is all you need on them. And up front, balanced. Balanced is the way forward, my friends. Balanced is the way forward. And that is it. Now, I would recommend having more than one formation. That is a big tip. You can see, like I said, I have 4-1-2-1-2. I won't go into that. I've done another video on the channel if you want to have a look at that. That hasn't changed. Exactly the same 4-1-2-1-2. I have a 4-4-2 there as well, just in case I want it. Kind of, I don't know why I put that in there, but I don't seem to use it ever. But I do use that one. And I've got a more offensive version of 3-5-2, but to be fair, I haven't used that at all. That is the formation I go into the game with, and that is the formation I've pretty much seen the game out with. I like this 4-1-2-2, just like I said, as a bit of a safety blanket to make me feel like I've got it there. So that is the formation. That is how to set it up. Hints and tips, guys. I'm going to give you 2 big hints and tips. Number 1, take your finger off running. So sprinting, take your finger off it. Take your finger off it now. Don't do it again. No, what I mean is, I've seen so many players and I've played with quite a few players on co-op and against them, where I can see them absolutely. It's a bit like that scene in Top Gun where you see like the airplanes are the same, and then one puts his brakes on and the other one just goes well, there you go. One goes straight ahead, and the reason being is obviously he's still got his accelerator on and he puts his brakes on. It's like that for a defender, and the problem being is if you're the attacker and you're still going forward and they're defender and they're coming forward at that speed and he's coming forward at that speed, they just miss unless you get really lucky and you do hit and you get away with the ball. A lot of the time you do that. What you want to do is slow it down so he has to come to you and you're ready to then control the ball, take it away from him and get it back. So big thing is take your finger off the sprint, especially when you're defending. The only time you really should be pressing sprint is if you're a one-on-one with the keeper and you just tap it a couple of times to get yourself free of the defender, if you're running free, because again, never shoot with sprint on, never do that. And down the wings, hold sprint to basically get some distance down the wings, because a lot of the time you're free down the wings because your right and left backs have disappeared off somewhere. So you have a bit of freedom, so you have a chance of getting some extra sort of yards between you and the defenders to get in that box and put a nice little cut back in and score a goal. That is tip number one. Take your finger off and learn to do it. It's really hard. I was the worst candidate for it, and a pro player gave me a bit of coaching, and the first thing he said was I was put my finger on it, and he was right, and my game has changed. My defending is a million times better. It makes a massive difference, and really you'll notice the control of the player is a million times better when you don't when you're not hanging on to the sprint. But it is something you need to break, so don't do it. Number two, passing, guys. Pass, literally pass around the pitch. Do not, and I mean do not, just go forward. I've seen so many players just think that the only way is forward. It's like, you know, you see in like playgrounds or kids football and like, you know, 8-year-olds football. The only way is forward. They don't think of going backwards. They don't pass back to the goalkeeper. They don't pass back to the defenders. The only way that they can see is, well, we've got to go forward because that's where the goal is. Since the last patch, you really do have to play like Brazil. You have to play tiki-taka football, guys. You have to open up that defence, and that ain't going to be every time you go down, you go into their area. Does it just open up for you? If it does, great, go for it. But 99 times out of 100, guys, it won't. So what you have to do is you have to, you know, caress the ball around a bit. You have to pass it back to your defender. You have to then put it across and switch play. You have to push it back up again, and then you're just looking. Keep a weathered eye on your strikers. You've got your two strikers in there if you're using the same formation I've just done, and you'll notice one of them will just peel off and make the run, and that's your time to pass and your time to have a shot. What you'll notice on my statistics, I tend to have something in the region of 60 to 70% possession, which is showing that I'm hanging on to the ball. And I will have at least twice as many shots as them at the moment, and that is because I am just waiting. And my shots accuracy is in the 90s because I will wait until I just won't shoot all the time. I will wait until I have a shot on target. I will wait until I know it's because it's a valuable commodity. They're not in every, but the days of 7-1s and 7-2s I think have gone, which is good. You really have to work hard to get a goal these days if you're playing against a good player. So you just literally have to do it. The second thing is it frustrates your opponent, guys. It frustrates your opponent. You're playing football, you're knocking it about, they can't get it, they're making mistakes, you're basically lulling them into mistakes, they're getting frustrated, you score. I hate to say, I get a lot of rage quits after I've done that. If I've had 15 minutes of knocking the ball around at FIFA time, and then I score a great goal because I've done it. The amount of rage quits I've had over Weekend League was because they just knew that they weren't going to get the ball off me all the time, and they didn't comprehend what I was doing. So literally, that is my tips, guys. That is my tip. Like I said, I'm not going to say I'm the best FIFA player out there, guys. I'm certainly not the best FIFA player, but I have improved amazingly. I've watched a lot of videos. I've watched a lot of people play FIFA. I've watched what's improved me, and I like to pass it on. I like to give back. So there you go, guys. Talking of giving back, make sure you hit a like and a subscribe. Look at that link. I'm almost professional. So make sure you give a like and a subscribe. I will see you very soon. Take care of yourself, and if you can't, find someone who can. Bye bye.